Good day, everyone. This is Lightbox, the podcast where we talk about social issues and daily activities affecting human life as we know it. So, today we're going to touch on the current state of student housing. Firstly, numerous colleges require first years based on a certain amount of credits acquired to live on campus. Here's a quote. I'm going to put it up on the screen from one of the university's websites. This is specifically in an American state, of course. Now look, I'm not denying the fact that some people don't want it, but not everyone wants to. Some might not be financially able to, which prompts loans or a hectic FAFSA process, which I'm not even going to get into. It's pretty much saying, hey, you have to come live in my house. And you're like, oh sweet, for free, right? For free, right? Look, there are tiers when it comes to student housing accommodations, in my opinion. It's based on a scale of how good of a space you want to live in to how wrapped up in the sheets with debt do you want to be. That seems unfair to say, but it's the sad reality that we're all living in today. Like I said before, I didn't live in the dorms. What I do have experience with is off-campus housing. And that's not even the juicy part. But this whole section is going to be mostly based on personal experience rather than being backed by facts. But I will put on some sources in the description to match what I'm saying, to show you that these things are actually happening to American students. Now, the first thing I'm going to cover is misrepresentation. Many of us college-age people want to someday move out of our parents' house in pursuit of that freedom we've been teased with our whole life, the freedom of independence. What isn't really mentioned is the rent, the bills, the late fees. If you can't keep up with your rent, we all have those days. Of course, this might not apply to some people who choose different paths, but if majority of us weren't subscribing to this view, colleges wouldn't be making so much money. That being said, there are many aspects that go into this whole off-campus housing thing. One of the biggest parts is pricing. On top of managing about 12 hours or more a semester, possibly getting a part-time or full-time job at a fast food restaurant or the local small business establishment means that a student has to worry about paying rent. Now, I'm a realist. I don't think, everything should be free because nothing in life is free. I'm not saying tear down the rent system, but when the cheapest of a nice living environment costs $800 or more, you kind of want to see change. Imagine paying most of your paycheck every month, getting charged for maintenance repairs at some places, not all, and not even being able to say yes to going out with friends because you're trying to save up for a new laptop or damn, even eat. Well, some people don't have to imagine because that's the reality. Austin, the capital of Texas, has numerous beautiful apartments for quote-unquote students to stay in, but living in a 4-bedroom or sometimes 5 could run you about $900 a month, and you're not even getting a full apartment. You're getting 1 bedroom and access to a shared lobby, kitchen, thankfully not a bathroom, of course. Not that the logistics of things, well, there's going to be more logistics later, but we're going to talk about false advertisement. On top of all that, off-campus student housing is notorious for false advertising. Okay, I shouldn't say false advertising. Let me give you 2 examples. I'll call one false advertisement and the other one glamorized advertisement. You can't see me, but I'm doing quote unquotes right now. With false advertisement, you get a beautiful brochure quality level tour of an apartment complex. Now look, I'm not stupid. I know a showroom rental and an actual apartment are 2 different things. I'm referring to telling me you're doing renovations on the property, and come move-in day, I have a kitchen island that moves when I lean on it, a door that doesn't lock properly, a missing lock on a bathroom door, an advertised walk-in closet that I can't fit in, no carpets on supposed carpeted floors, broken window blinds, worst, pubes on the floor. Look, I keep going. There's so much. Look, you're not within walking distance of a school if the walk is more than 20 minutes away. Where I live, some apartments advertise studios as 1 bedrooms. What is that? Who is marketing the... Next is glamorized advertising. This is when you go to an apartment's website and they have images of amenities, but that's all they have. I want to see pictures of where I'm going to be living in. You know, I'm not going to spend most of my time at the germ-ridden pool table or sit in the lobby to watch a movie with friends. I can just invite them over to my place. Now, when I say this, I am confidently saying about 95% of students will rather invite their friends over to their apartments instead of their apartment complex's lobby. You know, why do I have to scour Facebook and Instagram for pictures of units that are on sale? Here's the problem. Not enough information is given. If you're asking me if I want it to be spelled out, yes, I want you to spell it out. Do I have to pay to get my couch fixed? Tell me. What's the grace period on rent? Tell me. Spell it out. One side note, very important side note when it comes to off-campus housing. Do not trust roommate matching. That is BS. The algorithms they build for that are in infancy, and it doesn't look like they're growing or leaving that stage anytime soon. I picked my age group on a leasing application, and I got matched with a 35-year-old dude. I said no pets. This dude had a big dog he didn't take care of. He didn't clean up after. That thing had fleas. Cute dog, but it was dirty as hell. That being said, I saved the best for last. Lease durations. Now, this term is something I made up. Leases in college towns are usually 12 months long. You know, there are a few gems that go for 6. What I don't tell you is, you're really signing an 11-month lease. Shock! Flabbergasted! I know. Look, let me explain. Apartments I've lived in, a typical fall lease, and by lease I mean move-in day, it starts around late August. But guess how you get in the ass? You pay a full month's rent. This is whether the apartment's move-in date is on the 1st of August or the 29th of August. And it's usually due when you sign your lease or before the 1st of that month. Now, like I said, this doesn't matter whether you're moving in on the 1st or like 3 days before the month ends. Like, who invented this system? I'm paying admin fees, application fees, and you still get a non-prorated month's rent out of my wallet. By the way, prorated means that it's adjusted depending on how many days you live in it. So for example, if rent was $30 a month, I wish, you know, if you stayed there for 15 days, you'd pay $15. It's pretty much what I'm saying. Anyways, that's just despicable. It's ridiculous. You know, I call this ghost rent. I actually just made that up, but it makes sense because you're paying there for air to be in that unit for the month. That about concludes this tirade of student housing and my frustration with the whole system. My advice is, if you want the best experience with off-campus housing, request an early move-in as I've done in the past. They might charge you some arbitrary fee, but trust me, it's worth it. Also, you get to live in the apartment for that full month. You get your money's worth. And another one is, if you get into a multi-bedroom lease situation, like a 5-bedroom and you get 1 room and a lobby and all that, live with people you know or people similar to your age. Meet people at orientation. That's a luxury I never had because I never went to orientation. Well, I went to orientation, but I didn't really meet anyone that was going to live off campus. Same thing happened with my girlfriend. She was a transfer student, so she didn't really have anyone she could live with. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have met her. So, you know, some things are good. But the student housing is still messed up. Live with people similar to your age. Don't be 18 living with a 35-year-old dude. You know, and I recommend touring at least 7 or 8 apartment complexes before settling on one. You know, you might see that one that looks great right off the bat, but you might find something better. So tour multiple apartments and narrow it down to like 2 or 3, and then you can decide from that pool. So anyway, this has been Lightbox. Thank you all for listening. And if you guys have any thoughts or experiences on the whole student housing situation, leave your comments down below and I'll reply to every single one. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you all in the next one.